We're going well. We are almost in the middle of the Pacific. Not exactly, but quite soon we will be in the middle of the Pacific. We are here. In 2 days we will be close to Nemo Point. And probably in 8 days we will be in Cape Horn. Hopefully. And then from Cape Horn to Itajaí it's roughly 1 more week, so we can say that in a bit more than 2 weeks we will be in Itajaí, probably, if everything goes well.
Explain me your role on board.
So my job on board is to, so the call is, the name is Navigator. So my job is to find the best way to go to the finish, the quickest way to go to the finish, try to beat the other competitors, of course. So for that I use many tools, many softwares. First of all, I use some software to download some weather information, like this software, for example, or also this one. So this one is Predict Wind, and this one is named Squid. So then there is different provider. So I use the GFS model, which is an American model. I use also ECMWF, which is a European model. I use Arpège, which is a French model, and Icon, which is a German model. All of them, they cover all the Earth, so we can have data everywhere on Earth. So, and obviously the main data is wind, and then we also look carefully at the isobar, at the barometric pressure, because it's very useful to understand exactly how it's going to happen in the next few days, to understand how we're going to move the high pressure and the low pressure. And then we use also the waves, because there is also some sea state data, and current. And also in the, sometimes, specifically here in the Southern Ocean, we look also sometimes at the sea temperature to make sure that there is some loop of current, or there is not loop of current with very, very cold water, which could bring some iceberg. But as you can see, the red area is a forbidden area for us on the screen from the organization, so we are not allowed to go in that area. So we are not supposed to see ice, but in case of, I check if there is no very, very cold water. So I use this tool to download, we call that grid file, which is the format of this, all the small barbs you see on the screen. And then I put this file on Adrena, which is another software here. So I can show you again. You can show again the wind on the barometric pressure information here. You have also the rain in blue, which is helpful, for example, to show exactly where we have a cold front, for example, with heavy rain. And then I run we call that a routing from a start point, which is obviously our current position of the current time, to the finish or next waypoint, like the Cape Horn for us now. And then the software is going to calculate the best route, the quickest route from now to the next waypoint. And then we are going to work on that route, because maybe that route will not be very suitable for us, even if the software finds it as the quickest. But maybe the sea state will be too bad, the wind will be too strong, or the wind direction will be not suitable, so we will have to do too many maneuvers, like jibes or tacks, or too many sail changes. So maybe then I will try to update a bit that route, to make sure that we will be able to achieve it quite easily. Sometimes the best route is almost impossible to achieve, because there is so many maneuvers, so many sail change, bad sea state, things like that. Then you can almost say, okay, it's not possible to happen, that's too complicated. Sometimes it's important to understand that it's not a good idea to go in 45 knots of wind on 6 meters of swell, for example. So you have to update a bit your course to avoid this area. and to make your life a bit more easy. And then I use other tools. So this looks very old style weather chart, but I really like them. So this one is from the New Zealand weather service. And you can see there is just on the screen a very small green point, which is our current position. So it's very old style, but very useful because you have all the front on the chart. So we can see there is a very small, weak, warm front just behind us. And it's very helpful to understand clearly what is the current situation of the weather, the big picture of the weather pattern around us. So this is the analysis chart, but then we have forecast chart in the same way. So every time I put the green dot on the chart by hand to show where we are or where we will be if it's a forecast chart, to understand exactly how we'll move the systems. And for example, obviously the New Zealand charts are only around New Zealand, so it covers only the west part of the Pacific Ocean. So then we will swap to the Chile weather service chart, and I do the same with the Chile weather service chart. I put our position to understand exactly what will happen on us. And then I have a few other tools. We use a lot satellite picture, and then I link everything together. I link this satellite picture with the analysis chart. For example, if I want to understand exactly where is the warm front behind us, the analysis chart is only every 6 hours, so 0, 6, 12 and 18 UTC. But the satellite picture is almost real time, or a few minutes late. So then I can exactly monitor where is the warm front, or if I have like a clear sky bubble and I want to avoid it because I guess there is less wind or something like that, or if there is some squalls, I can see them almost in real time, and then I just have to put the pin here with our position, and then we can try to avoid things, and we can try to again understand a bit more what will happen. I have some other tools. So this is still Adrena, but I have downloaded wind satellite analysis. So it's a kind of picture taken from a satellite, and that show the wind speed and wind direction. Unfortunately, it's only two times per day, so it's not super useful. As you can see, you only have some. It doesn't cover all the area. It's just like a corridor. But sometimes, by luck, and it was the case a few hours ago, you have a wind information which is not so old, like it was 3 or 4 hours old, and it covers our area. So it is very useful, because like that you can understand exactly which wind where you have here on the screen, and then again you can link that to the grip file to make sure that your grip file is right, because the grip file is only informatic data and sometimes it could be wrong, it could be not so accurate, and then you can check that your grip file, your front, so for example you can see here on the screen the warm front behind us. We are here on the warm front behind us, it's just there with a massive shift on the other side on much less wind. And the shift looks much more important than the grip file show. Like that we can try to update and make the forecast a bit more accurate. Okay. And again it helps to bring a bit of I would say yes, seamanship, because if you just look at the grip file is a bit wrong, everything is wrong. When you match and when you link different data all together, you can see sometimes there is maybe few mistakes or few misunderstandings in the grip file. So then the grip file is used to do the routing, and then your routing will be wrong, of course, so then you can update that.
And then once you see a nice route, you propose to the sailors?
Yes. And then what I like to do, you can see on the screen here, and then I make some drawing on the screen in green, so the green line with some commands. If you put your mouse on the green line, you have some commands. And it's helpful because like that, I do that for the next few days. Like that, it's kind of it's a road book. So to make sure that I don't miss something, for example, for the next few days, we will have a low pressure coming from the tropics through the South Pacific. And I just put a few days ago that mark here to make sure that I will not forget to look carefully at this low pressure because it could really change the strategy in this area. So finally I can almost cancel it now because it's not really reliable because the low pressure will be a bit more to the east, so it will not concern us. But when I have a doubt or when I have a question or something like that, I write it on my roadbook to make sure I will not forget it later. And then I do almost every watch change with the crew. I do a small update, a quick briefing, like just a few minutes, what's going to happen the next few hours for us or for them during the watch, and also what's going in the next few days, what's the big picture. Like, and then they still have access because we have a screen here at the back of the boat, but we have the same computer with the same screen in the cockpit. And like that, they still can read the roadbook if they forget something, if they want to make sure. They just have to put the mouse on the small drawing, and then they will have a quick description of what's going to happen. And then I can go to my bench. And last, during the last few days, the fleet is very compressed together, so it's not about strategy, but it's a good tool to follow the fleet, the competitors, which is this one. So for now, this tool uses the IES data from the other boats, and we can monitor exactly the speed and the heading of the other competitors, and we can quickly see if we are faster or slower, if we are higher or lower. Right now we just have biotherm on the screen because the others are a bit too far away, so we don't get their IES data. But biotherm is just 1 mile away. We can see them, but we can also confirm with the numbers if they are sailing a bit higher or if they are sailing a bit faster or something. And as a backup, I use one more tool, one more software, which is Expedition, which is roughly the same software than Adrena. So I can run routings, I can visualize wind data, just to make sure that I don't miss something. I do all my work, all the routing is done on Adrena on both Expedition as well.
Great work, man.
We will see.